Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutalis on Discord.
This is Jeremy, or just Jeremy on Discord.
And this is Aaron. I go by I Am the Meta on Discord.
I am the meta. Oh, Lord.
No, you don't.
No, he don't.
I can clearly see you go by Treffenwood.
You can't make
or Treffenwood.
your own
You
nickname.
need to change it if you're going to go by that.
Jeremy knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
So welcome everybody to another riveting episode of Infamous. I got some quick announcements. Parker's at 2,589 episodes, but for you keen listeners, he's not here today, so we're going to bump that up to
fuck that guy.
3,589 episodes, and we'll just see if he notices next week.
He deserves it. I mean, as somebody who deserves it.
He does, yeah.
He certainly does.
Yeah. I mean,
he's not learning.
I would ridicule him if he wasn't. Yeah. He's clearly somewhere cleaning up dog poop, and I don't know why he decided to be there instead of here.
What good is a punishment if they're not worried about it or scared?
Yeah. In other announcements, I have started a Etsy store for the podcast called Infamous Studios, so you can check us out. I'll put a link in the show notes. If you are one of our Patreon members, you'll get a 20% off discount code. If you're not, still go check it out. It's got some cool stuff up there, but it's mostly just me selling 3D prints. It's pretty cool, I think, but nobody else seems to care.
That's not going to compete directly with my foot store. Is that true?
No. Okay. Only Feet is alive and well, don't worry. No one can compete with what you're bringing. It's a lot of heat.
I thought it was a lot of feet.
It is also a lot of feet.
Look, there's subcategories. You can click on it. It does a lot of
People
things.
People go to Jeremy's Only Feet going, I want a lot of feet, and then they leave going, I don't want that much feet.
It's too many.
So, yeah, it's too
flip-flops, sandals, slides. I mean, it's like whatever, dude. I don't care. I have, I'm not embarrassed. I'm just not.
Well, you shouldn't. If you got it, flaunt it, you know. In unrelated news to Jeremy's feet, Aaron has a big announcement. Big announcement.
Oh, I do. Yeah. So, as our listeners might know, even though they shouldn't care, I play multiple game systems, MCP being one of them. The other most awesome one being Blood Bowl. And I was just selected for Team USA for the upcoming Euro Bowl, which is the one nation, or every nation gets one team, prestigious event that will take place in Greece this September. So myself and 7 others will be going to rep USA and take down the championship. Nice.
So you're saying that you made top 8 in Blood Bowls?
I'm saying I was selected to be on the team.
Nice.
I would not say top 8, no.
Top 80?
Top 80 for sure.
Okay, good.
Now, I'm just asking,
all right.
Like, do you have to play Blood Bowl, or can I just also come along? Like, I can be number 9.
Would you like to be my +1? I do need a dice roller.
Oh, man.
Wait. Does the team need a coach?
The team has a coach.
What about second coach?
Does the team need an assistant coach? Or even better, for the Blood Bowl listeners, do they need a cheerleader?
I do have a spot at the foot of my bed for a cheerleader, yes.
Ooh,
cheerleader / dice roller / foot massager.
I would like to be more like a squire. You'd be teaching me the game while also competing in one of the most intense things. Yeah,
I could just imagine Aaron head down playing really sweaty Blood Bowl, and Jeremy's sitting there like, what does that guy do?
I thought that guy couldn't block.
Why'd you roll 3 dice this time? And the guy's just like, will you please shut the fuck up?
No, I'm actually critiquing his opponent badly. Like, no, doesn't he?
That seems bad for you. He just knocked your guy down, and
he's supposed to be able to have knockdown. That model can't have knockdown. I think that'll go over well. It feels very American, though, doesn't it?
I don't see what could go wrong. Yeah, I mean, Jeremy, professional man.
So anyway, I'm coming.
Yeah, got it. He's going to be there. Also, I have posted our annual LVOIS events. We've got the first one is a Las Vegas Invitational Qualifier in, I believe it is May 4th. And then we've got at the Show Me Showdown, we've got a qualifier, which is in August 17th, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then finally, we've got a point series also at the Geekery on September 7th. And so check those out. They're up on Longshanks now. Alrighty, cool. Well, in other news, there's no news.
Well, we just had a lot of news. Is there no news after the news deluge of news?
Oh, in recent news, there was a Killmonger misprint.
What?
We hope isn't on the card, but is only in digital.
That's on. Okay, got it.
We're hoping
the new Pierce rule. I'm into it.
New double Pierce.
The double triple Pierce. Hell yeah, that guy's good.
Yeah, we're gonna call this defensive Pierce from now on.
Defensive Pierce.
Yes, defensive Pierce. All right, moving on. Currently playing. I guess we'll start with this. We had a tournament over the weekend in Kansas City. We had a fun turnout. We had some good rounds. I'm going to go through my list that I played, and then I'll let you guys do the same. Then we'll talk about rounds. I have not gotten to play a lot of games lately, so I just kind of wanted to play something fun, and so I just threw together a very simple Brotherhood team. I got a Blood Bowl.
I know.
Brotherhood team. I didn't try and go too hard competitive with it. I don't think Brotherhood are very competitive, but the way that people tend to play them to be competitive, I'm not a fan of. I want to play the models I want to play. So I did standard stuff of Magneto, Mystique, Toad, Pyro, Blob, Rogue, Apex Predator. And then I threw in Rhino and Hulk. And I think I'm missing someone, but that was pretty much my team. I was really just trying to have a good time. I played min scoring standard stuff. Nothing really fun, special to report, but it's just a good time to play Magneto and throw stuff.
So I played Guardians, and what was really interesting this weekend, it was very different than, because recently we've been traveling a lot and playing, different places. Went to LVO, and before that was the WTC, and I haven't had to play Guardians or anything wide in forever. And I played against Wide Sam, then I played Wide Sam, and then I played Wide Spiders. All three in a row. It was really bizarro.
So yeah, again, we're just talking about our list right now, but yeah.
So yeah, anyway, I played Guardians. I guess I'm saying I played Wide Guardians, not on purpose. That's my point.
Wide Guardians. So you didn't take CGR?
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay. Were you mostly affiliated, or was it just kind of a smattering of little dudes?
Yeah, it was mostly affiliated. I played Guardians every round, and yeah. And I played it wide, and I don't think I used Ghost Rider more than once on all the tables. It was weird.
Okay. Aaron?
I played Hellfire without the anchor of the list, which is Emma Frost.
Interesting.
Seems unlikely. However, I've heard it did okay at WTC. Is Emma list Hellfire Club?
Yeah. So basically, it's picture a standard Hellfire list, and then drop Emma into my Hellfire Club, replace it with Hulk, and see how it shakes out.
So basically, metamodels.list.
Correct. I played a bunch of meta models in an unaffiliated jumble.
Cool. Any insights to glean from your list, or is it just pretty straightforward of play Steelers and broken shit?
I'll go through the 10, but yes, straightforward. Toad Wong, Cat Lizard Cage, Miles, Bill Dynamo Rhino, and Hulk.
Very cool.
I know you've been playing that list a little bit. Have you made any changes since? Or is that just a solid group there?
I have not made any changes since. I haven't actually played it since the tournament.
Oh, okay.
We're going to kind of go through games and lessons learned, or talk about it now?
I was just going to go round by round around the table.
Okay.
So my first round, I played against Kenny. Kenny was playing pretty standard criminals with Kingpin. So I am in a pretty much drawing dead in that matchup because I'm playing I'm playing Tall Brotherhood. Jugs is the model I forgot earlier. Jugs was obviously in there. Yeah, so I basically have to get super lucky to win this game. We had actually, I think, a really good game back and forth, but I didn't get super lucky. So it was pretty scripted. I did have Hulk get a couple lucky turns later in the game, which kind of let me slow him down at the very end. I think he ended at 15 points one round. And so I had to basically table him the following round, which I couldn't get done. But technically speaking, I still had an out when I took my last activation. I needed Jugs, who got dazed by the cubes, to wake up the following turn, play Asteroid M to go to Magneto, who is standing on a point, go through one of the portals, win the roll, one-shot Toad, go through the other portal, and one-shot Kingpin on the other side. And if I did that, I won the game. So, but I unfortunately did not get that to work. It was pretty funny, though.
Almost.
I did kill Toad.
Very good. My first round was...
How was your first round?
I played against Josh, one of the Varenberg guys. Again, like I said, he dropped Sam, went wide. I also went wide. We were playing scenarios that kind of just didn't let me go tall at all. It was a D we ended up playing. And the bottom line is he was much more efficient in his movements of the list. The pieces made sense to him. I was fighting my way out of it, and I really had grabbed, to me, enough attrition and space on the board, but by the time I got to go over the hill on turn 5, I think, I didn't have time to execute anything else. I just ran out of time. Playing 6 models for me is unheard of. I just don't do it. Like, I usually play 3 or 4 at most. So 6 was a lot, and he got me. He got me with the clock, that's one way to win, and he did it.
Playing wide versus wide is very different as well, because even though you might be good at playing quickly with your guys, playing against that many threats with squishy models is a completely different experience. So yeah, totally understandable. Aaron, how was your first round?
It was a great game. Played Marcus from Topeka. Spider Infected and Meteors. He played Dormammu, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Winter Soldier. He had one objective, which was to murder shit good. He did that really well. I had Bill double move, pick up a spider in the middle, and Bill never got to take another action because the combined might of Dormammu and CGR just obliterated him. However, since CGR was on one side of the table, and I had obviously more models than he did, like after he went, I just double walked and flipped the point beneath him. And then later, turn 2, took the spider on his side and ran away, or... I was just able to score it out pretty easily on turn, I think, 3, just because he only had 2 models that could score, and there's 5 extracts on the game board. So yeah, and we talked about it afterwards. He just wanted to play the Super Killia list, and it did what it was supposed to. I think of the 6 models I took, 3 were alive at the end of turn 3, but it didn't matter because I still just scored it out. So
I need to clarify. Did you say that Dormammu obliterated Bill?
I did say that, yes.
Hell
Did you mean that literally?
I did not mean that literally,
Oh,
no.
So you're a liar.
Yes. Brandon, I'm a liar.
Alrighty. So round 2. Round 2, I should have thought about this. Who did I play round 2?
Round 2, you played Making
Played
2.
One of the Topeka guys. Yeah. Making 2. I can't remember his name, but I've played
Marcus.
him before.
Marcus.
It's
the same guy I played round 1.
I'm terrible with names. I can't remember anybody's fucking name. So if I haven't talked to you at length and you've said your name 5 times, I don't remember your name, unfortunately. So I've definitely played him before. He played Winter Guard last time we played. Let's see. I think he played Winter Guard again, didn't he?
I think that's what
Jeremy,
I'm looking at. Yeah,
up?
it's Winter Guard. He's got Crimson Dynamo
Winter
as a leader.
Guard he had Winter Guard with CGR. That's what it was. Yeah. Winter Guard with CGR. I played Magneto, Juggernaut, Apex. I think we did 15. We had a pretty good game. I think he hadn't played a lot of CGR before, so he did an unexpected maneuver. I had Juggernaut safely took the middle, backed up. Apex went and took the right side objective for me. So he's on then there's like a big size 4 splitting the table, so he's completely behind that size 4. And then Mags just kind of dirtles up and stands right behind Juggernaut. So my back secure point on Demons is Mags, Juggernaut, and he just double moves CGR to stand within range 2 of both of them. And I have Prio going into the next turn. I was really confused. I was like, I just get to kill CGR. This is great. So then Magneto takes the first activation and rolls a combined 6 skulls on his first 2 attack rolls and no crits. And so that was bad. I think I dealt 2 damage to him. I was like, well, this is going to be really bad. Then CGR got to go, and it was very interesting. But we did some fun stuff back and forth. Apex was pretty lackluster for most of the game, then randomly decided to commit wholesale murder on everyone left alive, and that was fun. And because Apex will just pop off sometimes. But yeah, it was a fun game. I just wasn't able to pull it out in the end. CGR got to run the table because I just couldn't quite. I think I left him on 1 after he got patched up the first time. So yeah, I just couldn't get it done.
They've got some sneaky tech in that list too. Like, people don't play against it, but they've got a few tools that are cute.
Yeah, it's obviously better if you're relying on like shocking and staggering CGR because they can remove the effects. But yeah, it was interesting. I put a bunch of throws obviously into his stuff. I just wasn't quite able to get rid of them. I think I dealt with Dynamo really well. I think Dynamo only one time got to use Disruption Field. Because I have Apex, you just throw him away, and then Jugs gets to play Do You Know Who I Am? I think threw him long away, and so just got him out of the game.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
So my second game was against Gabe, who shows up for our tournaments, and we see him usually once a month or so. And this will be my second time playing against Sam. And it could not have been more of a different list. It was so cute and clever. I can't tell you how many props I give him. I thought it was just fantastic. I didn't know what to do about it, but it was fantastic. So it's Sam, and then put everybody who throws a goddamn shield, playing on superpowered scoundrels. I was like, this is a lot of attacks. Like, he was doing a lot of attacks. It just happened that his attacks didn't do as much as mine. Where he ignored cover, I ignored rerolls. So I was able to close the gap and kind of get in on him and then avoid the real dangerous stuff. Like, I never let him put, what's this guy with the reflexes? He put him in the middle and tried to make me get involved with him. And I'm like, I'm not messing with that guy.
I know better. I've been tricked before.
Yeah. And there wasn't like a Hulk in his list. It was just a bunch of guys with shields and clever tech. So I was able to eventually just kind of take it apart. But it took me like all 6 turns, and it took a lot of work. When it comes to dice rolls, I think we were doing evenly. It really went back and forth. It was a really good, fun game. But I ended up winning that one.
Yeah. Cool. Aaron, how was your second round?
It was super interesting. Ended up playing Quentin, our local webs guru. And by local, I mean local and national webs guru. Not named Aaron. Ended up playing Spider.
I've heard he's pretty high up on the faction ranking list, but I don't think he's at the top, but he's pretty high up there.
I haven't checked it in minutes.
I think he's second in the nation.
That's pretty cool.
In the nation, not the universe yet. Yeah.
Maybe eventually he'll get to number 1.
Yeah, eventually. So yeah, Spider infected an Infinity Formula, and he wins Prio, and immediately I'm on my back foot because we're both playing control lists. Except he's got a leadership and I don't. And he gets to take the center Spider to begin with. So I can't give you a blow by blow. I don't remember what happened. But I did manage to pull it out 17-16 at the end. So,
I can guarantee both people got really sticky.
I don't know what that means.
Because of the web.
Oh, the web? One person got sticky and it was me. I was definitely head webbed all up and down my shit.
All webby.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right, we'll keep it moving into round 3. Round 3, I got to play Gabe, Jeremy's round 2 opponent. Again, we've played a few times before. Always good games. I played... We hit the unicorn, as I like to call it. I told Aaron it will never, ever happen.
Oh, no, you did it.
It fucking happened. It fucking happened. We flipped double 19 on Senators, and I have Prio.
Oh.
I was like, what the fuck? His Senators, I chose my Blues because I have to. He's playing Sam Spam. And so it was just like I could not believe that it actually happened. We ended up playing Gamma Senators at 19, and I had Prio. And so round 1, I get 4-2, and part of that 4-2 is I have deceptioned and thrown Luke Cage onto basically my back Gamma, just off of it so he doesn't contest. So my Pyro gets to stand still and shoot him to try and apply Incinerate, and misses the Incinerate to go up 5-1 on extracts on the first turn. I think that probably would have won me the game. On the second round, I was completely sleep deprived during this tournament. I think I had like 9 hours of sleep in 3 days, and so I was forgetting a lot of stuff. And so like that's 100% on me. I should have remembered, but I read his tactics cards twice. Twice I read all of his tactics cards, and right before I made this attack, I go, okay, cool. I attack you. I play pyrotechnics, and he's like, cool. I mission objective. I looked up. I'm like, you don't have mission objective. I read his cards fucking twice. Missed it both times. I was so tired. But yeah, if I don't mess that up, because I could have just moved him out of range too. Like I had, do you know who I am? I could have just immediately thrown him out of range, and it wouldn't have been a problem. I also could have dazed him with Mystique, and it also wouldn't have been a problem. It could have been a million things I could have done differently, but I didn't do them. So I failed the Pyrotechnist, which is the only way I had to take and extract off of one of his models without dazing them, which was not good for me, obviously. And then he's playing, what was it? I think he had a Stealer in his list somewhere. It might have been Black Cat. I can't remember. So anyway, I ended up losing my firm lead, and then I started losing attrition too, because I was overcommitting to win on scenario as opposed to fighting, and the game just got away from me. Gabe played really well, so I was not able to close it out. I think we ended up closing it at like 16-14, something like that. Yeah, the last round, I think one round he dazed like 3 of my models with a single attack, and it was like at the end of the round, so I didn't have time to try and fix the catastrophic problems. I had a great turn the following turn, but it was just a little too late.
Well, thanks to whoever beat Quentin in the previous round. I think that what you said, Aaron, that was you.
Whoever that might have been.
You slung him into my bracket.
He's never going to listen to our fucking podcast ever again.
He probably doesn't anyway. He doesn't care.
He doesn't.
He's the perfect. He's the perfect guy he's infamous. Like, he knows that about himself. So he gets slung into.
I remember
bracket.
1 week.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I was just it. He got put in my bracket, and so I knew he was going to go wide. I knew what was about to happen. But the problem is with Sam, I can go toe to toe. With Webbs, I cannot. And I should have just said, you know what, I'm going to kill as much as I can, and hopefully dust is left, and just went super tall. Because I made maybe 3 attacks, and he scored out on 3, and I just got aced. So it ended up being like 17-6. I just got thrashed, which it happens. I understand how the concept works with Webbs. It happens, and I just was a little slow on what I was doing.
Yeah, in my experience, if you're doing tall attrition versus Webbs, or really any attrition versus Webbs, you basically dice them early or it's too late. Because if you start killing them later in the game, they're just up too many points. Every activation they make is they run away, then you kill somebody, then they run away, then you kill somebody. It's just too late. Because then they end up securing too many points.
He didn't take Amazing Spider-Man. I thought he was gonna. So I had completely prepped for that.
Which went even wider.
Yeah, he went even wider. So I think he went 6 wide, and I went 5 wide. And I should have just went 3 and controlled him and smashed models one at a time. Whatever.
Did you have Flash?
Did
you have Agent Venom?
Yes, I did. It was Amazing Spider-Man tech. The rest of it, he had so many models, it didn't matter. Okay, I'm going to kill one, maybe.
Agent Venom's great, but he doesn't just one-shot people.
No.
He just burns down quality models. And so he's good at taking out Miles, but he's not going to kill Miles and Toad. It's just not going to happen.
Well, between Miles and Black Cat, I was kind of fucked from go. There wasn't a lot I could do. He could take whatever he wanted whenever he wanted it, and I couldn't do enough damage back, so...
And if he's got Spider-Woman, Spider-Woman's actually pretty good into Agent Venom.
Yeah, he didn't take Spider-Woman. That was a 4-point model. Yeah. He wasn't going that tall.
Fair. Hey, sometimes if he's not a fan of double twos Webbs. I really like double twos Webbs, and so you'd have space for the 4-pointer if you did double twos.
Wow.
Anyway, Aaron, how'd your round 3 go?
It went really well. This was against Parker in the 2-0 bracket. He was playing what I assessed to be a meme list. He called it Euro Trash, and he's playing all of the rich barons. Baron Zemo, Baron Zemo again, Baron Strucker, Baron Mordo, Skull 2, Zola, Bob. It's a meme Hydra list.
Hydra, yeah.
However, I hope he doesn't listen to this because I'm about to give him a bunch of credit. It fucking performed.
Turns out just put Nebula into people and profit.
God damn. Nebula with
Scientific method.
Yeah, Scientific Method from Zola is really, really good. And playing Zemo's leadership enables all of the turn 1 jank. So he was able to eyes on the prize with any model he wanted.
We call that the X-Men strategy.
Yeah. He Scientific Method turn 1. What else did he do turn 1? Maybe that was it. Seemed like he did more. But it was a lot of...
Well, Scientific Method eyes. You can also play Versatile Strategy if you want.
He did. At the end of turn 1, he played Versatile Strategy. So I guess he had 3 of his 6 cards played at the end of turn 1. But what's really important here is the crisis we were playing on, which was Scoundrels and Alien Ship. So he did all these cool plays, and he's got this Nebula that rolls 6 dice, whatever she wants, full rerolls, and all skulls in the defense roll hurt the defender. Like, it's a really good attack, and the fact that he can pull that off with the full rerolls really turns her on. And then you're like, well, what if I just fucking kill her?
Do the skulls actually cause a damage, or do they just count as successes?
Damage.
Ooh, that's
so for
really
every
cool.
skull in the defense roll, every skull, you take a damage.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. So she's 6 dice full rerolls, and you're hurting yourself. It's a bad combination. So he's able to pull it off turn 1, like with a move and attack, because it's Scoundrels, and I had to go in the center. And by had to, I mean chose to go onto the center. She almost dazed Rhino just by herself. Anyway, he's pulling off all this gimmicky stuff, and it's working really well for him. Except I'm playing really wide, and I end up trading all of my models' health pools to score. So we ended the game. He actually clocked himself, but it was going to be a win for me. It was 14-8 at the time he clocked. And I was just going to, score out on points, despite the fact that he had a significant attrition lead. So he was just doing a lot of really cool things that weren't necessarily helping win the game. And so that was my takeaway. Like when he Cage is the one he dazed. And he did daze Cage round 1 with Nebula, but I was able to fall back and mission objective the extract away. And then I kind of huddled in a corner with most of my extracts and then played the displacement game on the other Scoundrel points. And so that's how I ended up winning. So he had a lot of really good stuff on his list, and I'm excited to see where he takes it to.
I was just doing some checking while you were talking there. So if you play Grand Illusion, all of their crits and skulls deal damage to them.
Yeah, I guess.
That's pretty cute. Also, I also checked Dust to Dust on Cosmic Penance Stare also would do a damage per block they turn to a skull. Now, that's probably not as relevant because you're already getting hit by a Cosmic Penance Stare.
Well, you also can't Scientific Method CGR.
Well, that's fair.
So, multiple issues.
It's only on that attack. It's not on...
Yeah, it's on that
I was just thinking... I just started looking for anything that changes the defense side to a skull.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I kind of want to see what happens when you put Grand Illusion in a Hydra list.
Okay. You're inspired. Again, don't tell Parker.
Okay, so going into the 4th round, Parker had to go for he had previous engagements. So Parker dropped after round 3 after his severe butt whooping to Aaron, where he got absolutely destroyed.
It was embarrassing.
I think is what Aaron said.
Yeah,
it was pretty. I was embarrassed for him. And then so because he dropped, we had an odd number. So I took the bye in the final round. That way, everybody else would get to play. So I didn't play a 4th round. So Jeremy, how was your 4th round?
My 4th round, I finally got to do what my list is supposed to do. Jason obliged to play pretty much the same scenario setup as me. We pulled it. He had priority. I wanted 19 points because that allows me to play 8-point Thanos, CGR, and Black Bolt. And he didn't know what I was playing, so he dropped, which was so awesome for me. He had Hulk, Hulkbuster, and 6. What else did he have? He had one other model. I can't remember what it is at this point. It died so fast.
Was it 18 points?
Whatever it was 19. Because that's what I had, wasn't it?
Oh. And he had 2 6-pointers, so yeah, he had a 7-point model left?
No, maybe he had 2 more models. He might have had 2 more models. But he had those 2 big models. But
Do you remember what faction he played?
he played Avengers because he had Hulkbuster and Hulk.
So it was a 3 and a 4 then.
It must have been.
Oh no, because he's playing Hulkbuster leadership. Yeah,
It shows She-Hulk.
Ooh,
Did he
so
have
he's
She-Hulk
doing-
in that list?
well, it
He
would have
didn't
been
have She-Hulk in
A-Force.
that list. Yeah, he didn't play She-Hulk in that list. He played Avengers.
Why did you input it incorrectly?
Because I don't care that much about any of this.
Yeah,
I wasn't-
Jerry doesn't do the reporting. I don't know if you've heard.
I mean, basically, I just take my wins.
When he
I don't
loses,
care. I take the
it's
pile
his
of chips
opponent's
and I go home. I
responsibility
don't
to put
count.
it in.
I don't count the chips
And then
until I get home.
when he wins, he can't be bothered with that. That's the loser's job to put that in.
Yeah.
It's trash work. I don't do that. But yeah, we punched each other back and forth. But Black Bolt punches harder than anything when it comes down to who do you want to supercharge with Thanos. And just, I don't know, I don't have to describe too much of it. The fact that Thanos was able to wander the board doing whatever he wanted to whoever he wanted was pretty silly.
Three super premium models do work when you're not contested on points. So
Yep, there was only 6 points to be had.
well,
and
I'm glad I didn't play the 4th round, so you could do that to Jason.
Thank you. I felt, I mean, I was a god for a moment, right? Like I was the best there ever was.
All right, cool. Well, Aaron, last game.
Okay, last game. Similar to when I drew Quentin, this time I drew Kenny. Nothing like going through an invitational murders row. He decided to play Crims and dropped Kingpin into my unaffiliated Motley Crew. And we pulled Cube and Scoundrels. I can't remember who had Prio. I think it was me. Yeah. So that was about as bad as it could have gotten for me into Kingpin on that Crisis combo. He made one decision that I think was suboptimal, and that is he went 5 wide at 17. I countered in my head ahead of time by going 6 wide at 17. So even though I had Prio, that also meant that I went last, both in round 1 and every round thereafter. Using my displacement models to be able to throw him off of points so he can count 2 while not sitting on a point, which is where you want to put Kingpin's models.
I think that you call it counting 0.
Oh, is that what you call it? Oh, okay.
You're saying you put them in a situation where their numbers count for nothing.
Yes, that is exactly what I said it in a very obtuse way. That is exactly what I meant. Yes.
Well, I said it in like a King Leonidas way, so.
Okay, good job. Yeah, so I was able to...
He did not like that.
I was able to keep the...
He's still shaking his head.
Keep the game close, and I don't remember the specifics, but at round 5, I think I was able to have a godly Rhino turn. It all came down to if I could one-shot Cat, I think. And she already had like 3 damage on her, so I think I needed 2 damage into Cat with a 7-die attack from Rhino. And I think Rhino had 2 cubes and Cat had 2 cubes. So if I fail the attack, she double steals and laughs at my face, and he wins the game. And if I kill Cat, I pick up both her cubes and I win the game. I ended up not flubbing that attack, killing her, and then picking up all 4 cubes on Rhino and winning 21-15.
Nice.
I do not know the name of it. I just know the sound it makes when it loses games.
His name's Kenny.
The name is Kenny.
His name is Kenny. We might have Kenny on this podcast sometime. We'll see if we ever have a time we need another person. Alrighty, so that sums up the tournament. Did you guys learn anything at the tournament?
I would have put all the money I had on Kingpin winning that game. Like, that was the craziest setup I ever heard of.
Million. Jeremy, we know one thing about you. You'd put all your money on anything.
What is it? I'm all in.
If there's a binary choice, you will put all of your money on one side of it. It doesn't matter which.
Yep. I actually learned quite a bit about playing the wide Guardians. Turns out they're still really, really good. That's really it, though. The wide version does what it does, but the tall version does what it does, but playing wide was actually a lot of fun. And it's pretty, again, like I say, pretty damn good.
Cool. So I've got I learned something I knew to be true was true. I learned something I believed to be false was true. And then I learned something I didn't know. I thought I knew, but I wasn't sure I knew. So the first thing is Brotherhood is in fact not competitive. I learned that, well, at least the way I want to play them is not competitive.
Okay.
Tall Brotherhood is not competitive.
Fair enough.
Sometimes miracles do happen. And you get to play Brotherhood with Prio at 19 points on Senators. And accidentally look over as we reveal the missions and go, do I actually have those 5 models? And I said, oh shit, I do! I almost had to play Blob, and then I realized that I had Pyro in the list because he was sitting behind Blob, and I was like, oh no, I don't have another 3-pointer. And I was like, oh, it's Pyro, and I have Pyrotechnics. Like, I literally accidentally had the Senators list already built. I just wasn't playing Senators. But then the thing I thought I knew, but I wasn't sure, Brotherhood still loses that game. Because they're fucking Brotherhood.
Wow.
That's the most fun I've had at a tournament in at least a month, I'm just saying.
Good. So I had a lot of fun playing my games. Obviously, I'm doing this like silly, unaffiliated thing. But it is interesting, like for instance, into Quentin with his webs. I played 2 models who were webs. Like I very easily, could and should have been webs. However, not going affiliated, especially if you consider that the easiest thing this list could be is Hellfire. Like, what does dropping Emma down to a 3 actually get you? And well, it bumps something else up, right? So I'm playing Bill when I normally wouldn't be able to, or Rhino. Or I was able to upgrade Toad into Lizard or Miles, assuming that the other one's Cat. So I think there are a lot of times when your actual team comp is better running unaffiliated than it is with the affiliation. Having said that, the team would be better affiliated because the leadership is good. So I think the team is actually worse, but the actual 5 models you're putting on the board are better than if you had restricted yourself to an affiliation. I found that to be really interesting.
I have an opinion on this if you want me to share it.
If it's the same as mine, then you can share it.
Okay. It's not, but I'm going to share it anyway. So we've talked about this in a different way previously, where it's like we have the strong opinion of it doesn't matter what your threat value is once the game starts, right? So like the fact that you used all your points or didn't use all your points is actually fucking irrelevant. Like people are so terrified to play down points when it's really just like, do you have the right models to solve these problems? That's all that matters. And so now obviously you'd like to utilize your points as best you can. But if downgrading, let's say, Spider-Woman to Black Cat is the right call in this particular matchup, it's the right call. It doesn't matter. And so yeah, I look at it the same way for the unaffiliated thing. It's you're sacrificing synergy for potency, basically. Because instead of sacrificing a model to gain a leadership and affiliation and potential tactics cards, you're sacrificing all of that stuff for having the exact right model. Because you're not playing the extra stuff. You're not playing the fluffy stuff. You're not playing Sam, who doesn't do a whole lot other than be a long mover most of the time. He has a little bit of board manipulation, which is definitely good. He's a good model, but sometimes he's not the model you need, and you'd rather have Black Cat. Now, is it worth giving up Sam leadership plus Avengers Assemble? Probably not, but in some games it is. And so I think that's basically where you're at, and you're discovering these interesting points where it's like, how many games where I do not give a shit that Miles is on the table? Like, probably about half. Sometimes he's really important, and sometimes the leadership's really important, but a lot of the time it really doesn't matter. I'd rather pick a random 3-pointer that, like Lizard. I'd rather have Lizard than Miles in most games. I just want to have, Spider Tracker, and so that's why I'd make the decision not to.
Sure. I would encourage people to, I think what you're saying, I think we're saying the same thing, is don't feel constrained by an affiliation. Like,
exactly.
Play the best models for the situation at hand.
Don't follow the script. Make the decisions you're making for a reason.
Yeah.
And understand the logic behind it. Don't just do what everybody else does and play affiliated. Now, if you're not going to, I'm not saying don't play affiliated just to be contrary. Don't play affiliated because you want to play these models or you feel you need these tools. Don't just go like, well, I'll just choose to be unaffiliated. We're like, don't do that. But like, there's a reason behind it. Try it.
Yep.
Alrighty. So let's move on. What we got next? Okay, so the next topic we're going to do is, it's called Do I Have Donkey Brains? And this is going to be a segment where we each, as a cast, picks a singular model that we think is good, that is much maligned by the community. And then we're going to see if we do or do not have donkey brains.
It has to be good.
No, that we think is good. Or has a lot more value than people think it does.
Okay, so an
undervalued
model.
Yes, a usable, undervalued piece that most people look past.
Okay.
I got mine.
All right, Jeremy gets to go first.
Nice. Do you guys have yours? Are you ready?
Yeah. No, I wrote mine down before we started because I'm responsible.
Oh.
I have mine at the top of my head, but...
He's going to change it. Aaron, I need you to write it down. Send it to me so I know you're not cheating.
Yeah, cheating. Whatever.
And then I'll go next.
So are we supposed to say the model and then we'll talk?
Just say the model.
Yes.
Yeah. Then we, as the people who are diagnosing you with donkey brains or not, are going to say what we think about the model. And then you'll have the last word and you'll get to defend your position.
Okay. So, and this is a community. What about you all? What if I think you all think it might be good, but I think everyone else thinks he sucks?
That's fine. No, we're
fine.
Just talking about
okay.
In mass, people don't like them.
Okay, Red Skull 1.
Or overlook it.
Red Skull 1.
Ooh. Okay. All right, Aaron, you want to go first?
I get to give my model? Thought we're gonna...
No.
Oh.
Does Jeremy have donkey brains for thinking that Red Skull 1 has value?
Absolutely. Man, huge fucking donkey brains. What the hell are you thinking, Jeremy? That's the worst pick since fucking 1964. Oh my god.
You're so bad at this.
Was that not what I was supposed to do? I don't understand.
I should have gone first, but unfortunately, I actually agree with Jeremy that this is an overlooked model that has some value. Now, clearly, he has issues, right? Like, no one's going to argue he doesn't have issues. Mm-hmm. So the biggest problem, I guess if I'm taking the stance that you have donkey brains, I would say that the model loses you so much tempo that it's not worth it. There are better leaders in Cabal that you should consider every time before this guy. He maybe has the worst leadership in Cabal. No, I take it back. Sorry, I forgot Sin exists. He is the second worst leadership in Cabal. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, isn't there a fourth one? Oh, shit, that guy's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But honestly, I kind of agree with you. I think the tools that Red Skull 1 brings are valuable. I don't think you have donkey brains. Aaron is wrong.
Thank you.
Oof.
Would you have anything you'd like to say in support of your opinion? I know I just, praised you, but...
I think with use of advanced R&D, his placement and his actual range attack is completely insane. When you get to set that off, I think his issues now are he's a 4-point model trapped in the 4-point model shell that was developed back in, as Aaron said, 1964 or whenever that was. Mm-hmm. He was definitely one of the most...
45.
Yeah. He was one of the most 4-point models of the early generation. He would certainly come with grunts with the same exact things. He would come with a power generation that doesn't just kill himself. But I think he is a big brain model that a good player can use and exploit other things really well. He can grease some wheels and send things into orbit really quickly. He can actually spike turns just like Wakanda can. He can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah. I wish I'd said this before, but the biggest drawback I think on him currently is that his alter ego is Johann Sebastian Schmidt.
Mm-hmm.
If he wasn't Red Skull and he was just generic Cabal guy number 3, I think he'd be even better than he is. There's just the other 2 Red Skulls are so valuable.
Yep, I agree. That's my pick.
Alrighty. Aaron, you're up. Let's see if we can get a more controversial one now and not just low-hanging fruit.
I have a tough choice here between Ophelia and Mikhail. And we're going to go with Mikhail. Last name Ursus, okay. Rank Major.
Is that a bear?
Donkey brains. He's fucking got donkey brains. This is such a bad model. Do you know what I said when I first saw this guy's fucking card? Well, at least I don't have to read the rest of it because he's a fucking short move, no DR, or whatever it was.
Short move, no DR is correct. However, there are more rules on that model's card. You
don't get to rebuttal until Jeremy has taken his turn.
He forfeited his turn.
There is no defending yourself. You have to just eat it. You're getting diagnosed with donkey brains. It's
Oh,
happening.
And we are talking about the bear, right? I didn't look it up.
Yeah,
to see.
Ursus
Okay.
Major.
I mean,
Or
he has
Major.
stagger on him, but also Black Cat has stagger.
I can't remember. Is he more or less threat than Black Cat?
The bear is a 2-threat model, correct? We're talking about that would make sense. Yeah.
I mean, maybe his attacks would do more damage if he wasn't barehanded.
Ooh, shit. You also mixed in a dad joke.
No,
honestly,
that's just a pun. Puns aren't necessarily dad jokes.
I wish I've seen this model be creatively used and be amazing. I just never have.
I've never seen anyone play him well.
I've seen him played, but not well, for sure.
That's just a straight shot at Aaron.
Challenge fucking accepted, you two.
I can't remember. Are you the number 1 ranked Winter Guard player in the world? I can't remember that.
Number 1 ranked bear player.
Number 1? All right, I think the new rule should be you have to play Ursa Major in every squad and also play unaffiliated.
Absolutely.
That should be the rule. It's just
Bring
like
it.
I should stop on my head.
Unaffiliated and models that rhyme with hair.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy. Do you have anything else you want to shotgun into Aaron's face before he can respond?
No. I think this was all personal enough.
Defend yourself. Here's your appeal.
There is the top end of Ursa's kit is better than Kingpin's. He has aggressive to get back where Kingpin can't. He's got a charge to get into place. He's got the exact same spender for his Kingpin, which we all know is incredible. He also throws size 4 and gains stagger. So it's even better than Kingpin's. So check, and another motherfucking check. The only downside is he's got 3 physical defense without the DR. So you sacrifice your defense for more offense. It's actually a 1-for-1 trade. I'm not saying he's better than Kingpin. I'm just saying there's a comparable model that exists. And if I harken back to, say, Parker's game, like, it didn't matter how defensive some of his models were. If he couldn't kill me, he loses the game. Game I just played today, into Kingpin again, this time playing real Hellfire, like, I had to go into him. I couldn't just let him sit back and score all the points. So if you don't have offensive models or offensive capability, that's bad. He provides that.
So I have a little pushback there. I don't think he has more offense. I think he has more tempo, which you can sometimes equate to offense, right? Because it's opportunities. You get more offensive opportunities than Kingpin does. But he gives up a lot of survivability, like a fucking lot of survivability. And his throw is more expensive. The thing you're saying that he has better is tempo, which costs him yet more power. I don't know. I can see where you're at. Like, the spender is legit. Like, right, no one can argue against the spender. It's one of the better spenders in the game. But his base attack's kind of lackluster, and like we said, like the reigning achievement he has over other 4-pointers is 2 or 3 more hit points at the cost of everything else everyone has. And so I don't know. I think he's not dog shit. I don't think I would ever consider him out of affiliation.
I'll have to try him out of affiliation. So
you're literally going to have to try him out of affiliation.
I mean, I agree. He is not the bee's knees of MCP. I just don't think he is, bottom 5, garbage models, which I think a lot of people have that opinion of him.
Okay. So that's going to bring me to my model. I submit for the general panel 1 Supergiant.
If I remember correctly, Aaron had said something along the lines of anyone choosing Supergiant is stupid.
I think he said donkey brained, but go ahead.
He also meant that, but mostly people are stupid.
Pretty sure the exact words were a pejorative that can't be said on air, so.
Oh, we're explicit. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, but there's a difference between explicit and downright wrong.
He said something, I think it was, let me go word for word, Brandon is fucking stupid.
You want
That's
to continue with your actual diatribe there, Jeremy?
Oh, I've tried her a few times. Her kit is weird and I think it fits in.
It's like a roast, though. You need to be aggressive. Say it while you're like pointing angrily. Imagine I work for you.
She's ununderstandable, and no one could possibly choose her as a choice in the game when given an onion, a potato, or her. They would choose either or, but never that model.
Imagine I'm a robot holding a dinner tray.
Exactly.
Just give it to me.
If you were on the stairs, I would kick you through that model. Yeah, I have no interest in ever really trying her again, so whatever.
There's so much counterplay to Supergiant that the places where she excels is so niche, they never actually come up over a span of multiple games to make her inclusion worthwhile in any squad whatsoever. She has a really good basic attack, and that is the only good stat out of 17 others on her card. Submit. Oh, I can get civilians, only civilians, and I auto-drop them when you hit me. Yeah, it's all just complete dog shit. She gets a ton of power and does nothing with it, and just dies.
I like
goes
the fact,
nowhere.
Yeah, I like the fact that there's some sort of, it looks like alphabet cereal style combo she can pull off with like a heart, a star, exclamation point, ... question mark.
AB select.
And something happens to something. Like I've never once seen it happen, but I don't know. It does a portal open, swallow you whole. I have no idea.
All right, I'm gonna file an appeal with the Donkey Brain Committee now. So you guys because it's pretty clear you guys both think I'm crazy. All right, so first of all, I have played her in many games, probably close to a dozen now. She has been a good performer in every single one of them. I will give a little bit of pushback. She definitely does not belong on every table. That is something you need to understand about the model. She is a tool piece, not a hammer. She's not meant to be played in every game. So you can't just throw her on the table and expect her to do well. She is an answer to other problems, kind of like Mysterio is. Aaron's correct. Her basic attack is fucking amazing. It is one of the better attacks in the game, I would say, as a basic builder on a 3-pointer. There are some interesting things you can do with her submit. I know that a lot of people don't like it. It is very rare you can get enough power on her on the first turn to really utilize it. However, it does allow you to interact and extracts at any distance, or not any distance, a distance greater than 1, which is really interesting on stuff like scrolls. So you can walk up, spend, let's say, 2 or 3 power if you were able to, let's play Spirit of Wakanda. So she can, maybe not even fucking move, right? You spend 3 power and immediately interact at range 3 on a scoundrel. Fail the roll even, because you don't care if you make it, get pushed forward, and you still have 2 actions to walk around. There's some really cool stuff you can do. She can take a side scroll really easily. Not scroll, right? Which one pushes you? I'm drawing a blank here.
Scrolls, you're correct.
Scrolls. So yeah, you can interact with the scrolls without getting, and still get pushed, but you still have an action to move back. So there's a cool thing you can do there. The Devastate Intellect thing where she can one-shot people, that's super weird and nichey. I don't even consider that really part of her kit. That's a random side thing. But the fact that she can straight up be unkillable to models in certain situations for a round is indispensable. How powerful that mechanic is. If I just say all right, you've got Logan, I've got Supergiant, my Supergiant has 4 hit points, literally go fuck yourself. I don't care. You cannot kill me. And they just have to sit there and think about that. And there's what do I do? And you're nothing. You literally lose this trade. And so you can put her somewhere and just be fuck off, I don't care. I'm going to hold this point, or you're not going to daze my model. I'm just going to have an out. And so anytime there's a model with that kind of rule, you really, really need to pay attention to it and how to abuse it in games. She also is an insane power generator. My favorite place I found with her is MODOK 2 in general, but specifically MODOK 2 in Criminals. He does give her the chance to potentially turn on her Devastating Intellect a little bit better, but really more as a stagger bot. He can also spend her power, which is amazing, because she will literally build 10 power around if you let her. Also, if you try and kill MODOK, he just puts physical attacks onto her. It's great. I think there's a lot of cool things about this model, but she's not the best model in the game by any stretch of the imagination. She's just really interesting in the right spot. All right. Did you guys like this segment? Terrible?
I liked it. We'll see if the listeners liked it.
Oh, they're going to like it.
I have something I want to say.
So,
I would like to thank the two people who sent Kenny and I lists this week. We ended up playing the first one that got sent from Brandon Morris, so shout out to Brandon. Hellfire. I didn't look at this at all until I opened it up on TTS, and my opponent and I looked at it at the same time. Kenny and I both managed to win with this list, but Brandon, 2 3s? Really? That's all I have to work with are 2 3-pointers?
a Hellfire Club list with 2 3s?
Yeah.
Strong. I'd say strong to quite strong.
Yeah, bordering very strong. Yeah, it had it had good tools. It was a good list, but I could not believe that it had 2 3-pointers and that was it, and 0 2s. I think.
Wait, really? It had 8 4+s.
All right, let me look at it real quick. I really.
Oh my god!
I know.
Slap that man in the face.
It had every.
I like tall. That's insane.
Every 4-pointer you could want. I lied. There's a toad. There's a toad. Miles, Lizard, Rhino, Emma, Bill, Dynamo, Gwenpool, Invincible Iron Man, and Ulik. So there are 6 4s, a 5, 2 3s, and a 2. Not how I would have built a Hellfire list, but
Am I missing something? How does Ulik work in Hellfire Club?
He loves power, man.
But like, is there a first turn thing I'm missing?
No, there's no first turn thing. No.
Okay.
It is definitely.
You'd have to either play Wong or Advanced R&D.
Yeah. Now I would love to know why he picked the Crisis as he did. So I'm used to playing Hellfire like you do Criminals and Webs, and so since my opponent was playing Kingpin, I was like, I'm sure we got the same stuff. So the crises that he's playing are Sword, Riots, and Infinity. My opponent took one look at Sword and was like, what the hell? We're not playing on that. So he picked his Secures.
When are you going to put up the request for the next list?
Immediately.
When is immediately? Like tonight?
Sure.
I have a list I want you to play.
We take requests, not demands, but we will.
No, it's a request. It's not a troll list.
Okay,
it's a list I've played and enjoyed.
Okay.
But I don't think either of you have ever played this affiliation in earnest, or especially the way I play it.
Okay. Shoot it to the Infamous Content channel.
Okay.
So anyway, I do want to, without ragging too much on B. Morris there, say thank you for the list submission. I would love to know how you're using some of the components of this list, like Invincible Iron Man and Gwenpool, and why you chose your crises, because I'm sure you have a reason. I just couldn't figure it out, and we didn't end up playing on it, so that was fine. Anyway, thank you. I think Kenny and I are both 3-1 in the league heading into next round.
What's the cuts? Is it X and 1?
Yes. X and 1 make cuts.
6 rounds?
It'll be 6 rounds, so we need to win out next 2. Although we're both in the cuts already from the way that they run their qualifiers.
I was going to say, you guys got in for,
Yeah. Yep.
So you're just playing for fun, really?
We could improve our seeding. Yeah. But I'm always just playing for fun.
Yeah. You can't let your opponents have it. You got to keep it.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm trying to accumulate all of the fun.
Keep their fun.
Mm-hmm. Don't let them have it. Okay. Cool. Did you guys have anything else you want to chat about before we tune out for tonight?
Ooh, I went and... So this is a Marvel comment, not necessarily a Marvel the game. I went and saw The Marvels. Have you seen that yet?
Nope. I'm boycotting Miss Marvel. I think her character concept is dumb and patronizing.
Okay. I'm going to give it a solid B-. So you can leave it
right
there.
Okay. That's better than I expected. I've heard it was bad.
It was a lot better than the Black Panther second movie. Mm-hmm. But not as good as probably the New Guardians. The New Guardians movie was cool.
New Guardians was good.
I'm going to put it somewhere in there. Like, it's worthy of sitting down, having an extra, hour and a half to see something, and then go do something else. Like, your life can go on.
Was it better than Captain Marvel 1?
Probably same.
Okay.
Like, it's okay.
I like Captain Marvel 1, so
I actually did enjoy Little Miss Marvel. Like, she was cute and clever, and the silliness with her parents, and like it was cute, like as a Marvel movie goes.
Yeah, I've liked the Maria Rambeau stuff that was in the MCU expanded universe because it's she is in Multiverse of Madness and she's in What If for WandaVision, and so I liked her in both of those. I liked what's her name, Brie Larson as Carol Danvers. I liked her. I just hate the Miss Marvel character, so I might end up watching it if you liked it.
Yep,
so.
It's fine. It's as good as anything that Disney has put out recently on those characters.
I have heard that you are not a huge fan of What If Season 2.
I actually, I am a fan. I need to watch it all now. I skipped the very last one because I got bored. Like, I wasn't, like, getting it like I did the last season. But I watched the last episode.
In the first season I didn't care for either.
So it's like
there's
that.
Some really good ones.
And so the last episode I started watching it and I was like, holy shit balls. So I stopped it. Right. And now I have to watch it because the last episode looks phenomenal.
Nice. That's really exciting.
So I just watched it. I do not like the fact that they took it from this like one-off procedural into really a storyline in this fictional made up, alternate reality, whatever. It was just
but like the best parts of season 1 were the continuation serial stuff.
In your opinion.
Fair. I mean, we can like different things.
We've already said you have donkey brains. Don't make it worse.
Donkey brains. Wait. Who had more donkey? We never figured that out. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
We interrupted the whole segment. Hold on. Backing up. All right.
Hold up.
Jeremy was a split decision, right? Or I think Aaron didn't understand the content topic.
I just got hated on for no goddamn reason. It was
Aaron just like canned insults.
Yeah,
didn't know what to say.
Pile of insults. Go fuck yourself.
You were holding up a sign that said "Insult Jeremy as hard as you can." So I did.
If that was as hard as you can, you might actually have donkey brains. It's like a roast, right? You got to troll the guy for his opinions, but also like we talk about Marvel. So do you agree with the Red Skull one as a like potentially interesting model, or is it just bad?
I think that the model is interesting enough that it convinces people to try it, but ultimately it's going to fail.
Okay.
So I think it is one step above garbage, but
I think what we're looking for is competently playable as opposed to like directly competitive. Because obviously if it was directly competitive, it'd be like the biggest miss in the universe that nobody was even playing it.
I mean, for like local game night, you could take Red Skull 1 any day of the week and probably have a fun time. I'm not sure you could take it to any sort of tournament and do quote unquote well.
All right, so we're going to have to come up with a rating scale on this because obviously you could just pick good models and not have donkey brains.
I will give him credit on picking a malign model. I completely agree.
You think he is appropriately? You chose an appropriate model.
Yes.
You're giving him thumbs up. Not only are you not donkey brain, but you had a good selection. Okay,
I'll take it.
I'll give him not donkey brains. I think it was low hanging fruit, but obviously the three of us have shared opinions on Red Skull 1. Like we all think he's reasonably competitive, and so that was the only thing. And he asked beforehand, are we going for stuff that we think is bad? And that wasn't the question. So that's good. Aaron choosing Ursa Major, thumbs up for choosing a malign model. Yep. I also have seen you play him, so I know he's not dog shit, but I definitely think he's behind the curve. But he is not like Drax. He is overly malign. So good job there.
Is this where we tell you good job on Supergiant?
No. I'm still giving you donkey brains though.
Okay.
Because I think you could choose any other 4-point model that is better than him and just like completely invalidate the model. Even Kingpin. I think Kingpin out of affiliation is better than Ursa out of affiliation.
I already said
because he has like a direct comparison is the only reason. Jeremy, are you saying that he has donkey brains, or are you agreeing with Aaron? As the person who's gotten bare-armed assaulted more than anyone I know.
That is true. God damn. I can't disagree with you, but I'm always open to be proven wrong.
Agree with who? It's an audio medium.
I agree with Brandon in that the model is just I think that people hate on him. I don't think there's enough I don't think there's enough people trying him to actually put this in court and get an actual decision. But
we're the kangaroo court that will make the decision. Okay. Yeah, no, that's what we're doing.
It's garbage. Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
He's trash.
Aaron has donkey brains.
That's too bad. You're going to have to notify your parents.
Yeah, you're going to have to tell everyone around you. You have to have a little sign.
If you check in the package we sent earlier, you will find your new helmet.
Jeremy, I'm going to mail you your certificate that says, in fact, you do not have donkey brains.
You, in fact, do not have, yeah.
I assume you guys both think I have donkey brains.
Oh, absolutely.
Super giant. I'm telling you guys, she's good.
Yours is a Hall of Famer. You nailed it. Donkey Brain Central.
I'm waiting for Aaron to tell me I have donkey brains. He's just staring.
Hmm.
Is he thinking, or is he just bored?
I'm not sure I remember talking to you again.
Oh. You know what? I don't think anyone would follow you for that.
You have definitely named one of his top 5 models that are trash. And there's only 5 on the list of 150.
I definitely reach the deepest into the pile of shit. I'm just saying.
I am going to have to give you donkey brains.
That's fair.
You are donkey brained, yeah.
Alrighty. All right. I don't have anything else for today, unless you guys want to chat about something. I'm excited to get to Mojo World, but other than that,
okay.
I'm going to pull you guys up.
I guess we can talk about this next week. Are you guys going to Springfield on the 17th?
Springfield. Oh, let's see.
I might.
Shit, that's next week.
This is a Saturday tournament, right?
Yeah, I'll be going.
Probably. I will probably go.
Jeremy, are you leaving from here or are you leaving from your place?
Probably from your guys' area. Your area.
Okay. If I can easily carpool with you, I'll probably go.
Okay. Most likely you can.
Cool.
Okay,
all right. That's good. I like Springfield. Alrighty. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. This has been Brandon.
And Jeremy, not Parker.
And Aaron.
And you've just listened to The Gang Has Donkey Brains.
Damn it!
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.
Would you find it more or less annoying that I left the tournament unclosed for a week, or if Jeremy still has 2 games he's not reported for Warfare Weekend?
Clearly,
he has 2 open games from Warfare Weekend.
Clearly, the former, because his unreported games don't show up on my webpage.
Jeremy, you frustrate me in many ways.
You know what?
I don't know how that's even possible.
Listen.
He only played 3 games in a 5-round tournament and didn't drop.
I did do my part, and they didn't do theirs. So what do you want me to do about it?
How was that?
I'm pretty sure I lost the game, and the opponent that won was supposed to do all the fucking work.
Oh, so you're just blaming he's supposed to, huh?
So you're going to blame it on the social contract some new player wasn't even aware of.
That's not my fault, then don't win.
So I don't know if you knew this, but Jeremy went 1-2 in the 5-round tournament.
Did I?
Strong.
No, I won the next. Whatever, I don't care.
Sorry, no, I meant 2-1. You won 2 games.
There we
lost
go.
1.
Yeah.
You lost your first game to Kenny.
Oh,
then
yeah.
You won 2.
And then I took revenge.
And then you have 2 unreported games that you definitely didn't lose.
Correct.
I didn't even know you could start the next round without one of the games reporting.
I didn't know that either. Listen, I did everything correct. I'm certain of it.
Sure.
Hey, look at that. Did you even know Mr. Sinister was a guy?
What do you mean?
Just like we're looking for like the ones that are bad. I'm like, did you even know they made a Mr. Sinister? I forgot.
I did, actually. I like Mr. Sinister.
Ooh, don't start.
He's not competitive, but like he's fun. I do wish he was better.
4-point models these days are a premium, man. You got to be sexy time.
Really, like he would never be made in today's meta because like he would either need extra power generation or his beam would be free.
Mm-hmm. His beam not being free is dumb.
You can't tell me that. Yeah, maybe that'll be a fun segment. What do you think? Is that just too negative? Or if there's every week we reviewed 3 models.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say 5 models, whatever, 10, an irrelevant amount of models. We just took them alphabetically or like alphabetically by point cost, whatever you want. And we could go through and just like, basically there's like, you get a thumbs up or you get a thumbs down. And if you get a thumbs down, you're outside the meta, or you're outside like the power curve.
Mm-hmm.
And so like this model is totally fine for the game, or like this model needs buffed, or this model needs nerfed. So like basically separate them into 3 categories. There's like acceptable and then not acceptable for 2 different reasons. So it's like basically you just get a thumbs up if you're inside the bell curve, and if you're outside the bell curve, you get a thumbs down. It's like this model needs a redesign or a touch or something.
Yeah.
Is that
I like the glow up, glow down
thing? Yeah.
I think maybe
it would also be interesting to get the individual cast members' opinion on those models. Like, you think the model's fine, but Jeremy thinks it's too good, or Aaron thinks it's too bad, or whatever happens.
Yeah, maybe. I think if we did it with 4-pointers, it would be fair, because 4-pointers are really changed. Like, those models are so different now on what they used to be.
Sure.
I think
There's
2s and 3s and 5s
design
and stuff
space.
are... Yeah, I think everything outside of a 4, I think exists in a space it's kind of supposed to. But I think 4s are fucked up.
I don't think so. I think all categories, all point cost sections
Really?
have that issue. It's just the most prevalent with 4-pointers due to recent events. Yeah, I think 4-pointers are just the most obvious.
Well, does it come with a grunt? No. Then pass.
Because there's 3-pointers that are completely nuts. Like, even compared to other good 3-pointers, they're completely nuts.
I think X23 is underrated.
I think she's underrated as well. And she's rated like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's in every...
Yeah, she should be a 10.5.
It's only in 9 out of 10 lists. And affiliated
in 3.
in 3.
How much people would... Yeah, I don't know how many people would appreciate us doing like the numbers rating review we started with originally.
Yeah.
I think it gets kind of like listening to it. It's not a good, like, it's a better visual medium than an audio medium, because you're trying to remember all the numbers in your head and like remember the equivalents to other things. I think just doing like, green, yellow, red is basically the color coding or whatever. It's just sorting them into piles of like too good, too bad, and fine.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you need to break it down into such a granular thing.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs every city needs a Vegas sphere.
The sphere?
Yeah. That thing is the coolest
Yeah, we saw
thing
it was
ever.
there. It's fucking weird. For people who don't know what it is, it's basically a, 10, 12-story tall art sculpture that's got LED lights on every surface, so it basically becomes a spherical display. And so when you're inside of it, they can like put pictures and stuff up, and so you're like inside of a spherical picture.
And it's like $4 billion.
And then they can put you on the outside too. It's really it was really expensive.
But they're projecting on it. Like, I saw a picture just now of they're projecting the Chiefs ring, like a championship ring on there. I'm like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, I bet all the Raiders fans are really liking today.
Oh man.
I might be, so next week, I'll either be very excited or I'll be in a deep, deep well of depression. I don't know how it'll go. We'll see.
I think we've already won. We made it. There is no way at the beginning or middle of this year we thought they were getting to the Super Bowl. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, that's fair. After like...
They played like trash
after
in so
like
many
5
games.
weeks, they were like, Chiefs are going to not even make the playoffs.
Dude, they were so... Like, how many balls can you drop without actually calling foul? Like... Okay, they're doing it on purpose. Like, this is fucking stupid.
So this is... I don't believe this to be true for the Chiefs, but are you aware that like one of the retired like mobsters like went on like some talk show / podcast, and he was like, yeah, just so you... Like, he's like we know who he is. He was like a lieutenant for this mob family for a long time, and like he did all... He's like... He turned state's witness, so he's got immunity, but he did all this shit that he's confessed to. And he's like, he just like does TED Talks and stuff about like what it's like to be part of the mob. And he started talking about, it's like, yeah, so like if you ever get in too deep with like, because like they want to loan you money, like especially if you're in a position of potential power, so that way they have leverage on you. And so like specifically athletes, they would go out of their way to try and make contact with and offer them like these betting lines of credit and all kinds of crazy stuff. And so he was talking about how if you ever watch a game and you're just like, what is happening? There's no way this guy is this bad out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he starts playing well again. It's like, that's what they do. They don't get you to rig a game because it's too obvious if you rig it. What they will do is lean on you. And it's like, they'll say, he's like, hey, like, let's say just as a hypothetical, a quarterback was owed like $3 million to the mob. They'd be like, all right, we're going to wipe out your debt. But the next game you play, you have to throw, like 3 intentional interceptions. Like, and that's it. Like, you don't have to intentionally lose the game. You still try and win, but like 3 times you have to put the ball in extreme jeopardy or we're not going to wipe out your debt. And so then they've overlapped it on this video of like watching the Dallas Cowboys play the like Green Bay Packers. And it was like a shot for shot script of like everything the guy was saying. It was like, oh boy, this does not look good. And so it feels like some of the wide receivers through Chiefs might have owed some money to people. They just decided to not catch a single ball for like 3 months.
The one I was watching had some dudes who cheated with basketball, and they got a hold of some college guys, and it was essentially like they had the strongest player in their pocket who could just control the whole game. Mm-hmm. It was completely crazy.
Oh yeah, in basketball, it's really easy for one player to determine the outcome. There's also like, I think in basketball, there's been multiple cheating scandals of like referees like being on the take.
Oh, really?
And I think there's like several instances of like where they caught them like later after the fact. And then I want to say there was at least 2 NFL refs in the past, like a long time ago, that also got caught like rigging games. Mm. It was a pretty big deal back in the day. Of course, like it's not nearly as big as it would be right now because there's so much money on like the sports gambling and everything.
We'll see if I end up way up for the year or at 0.
Well, I mean, when you put everything on every game, it's hard to lose.
Okay, I do, yes. But not on a single bet. Like, this one was a single bet, so.
Jeremy only has 2 buttons in his betting app.
Bet
Max and Add Money. Those are the 2
Bet Max.
buttons Jeremy has.
Bet Max, Add Money.
Bet Max, Add Money. Bet Max, Add Money.
And then I have to hit Are You Sure a lot. Are you sure?
There's a lot of confirmations in this stupid app.
It's never failed.
I'm still going strong. I've turned my $5 into roughly $50 still.
Nice.
Although I haven't bet all my money for this week yet.
Connor's like, you say something like that, he's like, but what if that $5 started as 10,000?
Yeah. Connor really scares me. You should not be betting like paycheck quantities on every bet you make.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have a little birdie in your pocket.
Mm. Yeah, I enjoy gambling from a casual perspective, which I think it's very important that you limit your bet amounts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm also too frugal, I think is the term. Spending money on something I don't need or desperately want is always really hard for me. It's like, let's say I have an X-Acto knife. I'm like, well, I could go buy an X-Acto knife that isn't a piece of shit. And that would be like $6 I could spend on something else. And I just like, I won't do it. It's just like weird. Like, it's like, no, I have one. I don't need another one.
That's kind of how I am. Like, I always feel like as long as I can always take care of anything that I want, I'm like, then it's fine. I don't have to worry about it. Like, and if I'm going to bet or throw money away on something, it's money that it's like, I assume I'm on like a date with myself. Like, that's how much it costs to be around me. So be it. Like, I certainly never count money before I've won it. Like, okay, I'm going to double down, and this way I'll go home even. I've never thought that once.
Mm-hmm. I do remember being with you at the Rio, and you were just getting your ass beat on the craps tables, right? You had like took $100, put it down to $20, and you're like, well, I can't do shit with $20. And so he's like, come on. And you're like, I followed Jeremy. We walk about 20 feet to the roulette table, and he just puts it on red. And he's like, we're doubling up because I need $40 to play craps. I'm like, what the fuck?
What is happening?
He wins, walks right back to the fucking craps table. Like, I don't think this is how gambling works here.
You're like, I think you need to play craps.
Fucking slams
craps seems to be the good one. This one
and
seems
so
to
he
suck
plays
balls.
craps, wins money immediately, and then loses money back down to like $20. Goes back to the roulette table. Like, Jeremy, stop.
You need to stop, yeah.
And then he loses. He's like, all right, I'm going to go get some more money. I'll be back. Jeremy, stop.
It's the best time. Look, they got to keep the lights on too, all right? They're not paying themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure the Rio's doing real bad. I mean, honestly, they probably are actually doing pretty bad, but anyway.
They're probably not. Yeah, they actually do kind of need my money. Yeah.
Yeah. Hoo-ah. What's the name of these types of shows we were talking about earlier? There's an official term for them. There's like police procedurals. I'll just do
for the most time. Yeah, for the most part, police procedural is fine, or crime.
I'm doing a law enforcement TV.
Okay.
No, I'll do crime TV. Crime TV. Yeah, we'll just specify it in the thing. Aaron, is there anything you want to chat about? No. Aaron doesn't want to talk.
Not what I said.
That's what I heard. Do you want to announce your BB thing?
Sure.
Okay. I'll put that on the thing. Oh, man. I still forgot to go through and figure out how many episodes Parker bet on the fucking stupid thing.
He's not here to defend himself. Let's just
Jeremy,
round up.
Yeah, we'll just assume it was 2,000. Yeah. I think he said he bet 500 on every question.
That seems right.
Jeremy, you going to the game store tomorrow?
I'm in Ohio.
You are currently in Ohio.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were going to be back.
I'm not back
Friday?
till Friday night.
Okay.
You will see me next at your house.
Cool. Did you see we're doing ribs?
I saw that.
We'll see how it goes.
Is anybody else bringing
Here we
anything
go.
else?
I think Richard is bringing brownies.
Okay.
I'll have some beer and some drinks. I was gonna ask everybody to bring like a side.
Yeah, I'll bring something.
Just see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah. Preferably not pickles, mayonnaise, or mustard, but whatever.
What about peeled onions? Just solid peeled onions.
That's fine.
Or stew, like vegetables for a stew, but no stew, like stew vegetables. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
One baked potato.
That'd also be
Is
fine.
your oven on? Bring one baked potato.
It will be on.
Is your oven on, bro? Throw this in
I
there.
just brought a potato.
I brought a single potato.
Can you put that in there for me? I'd say like a dip, like a nice dip would be like Rotel or something like that would be good.
All right. Well, I
Or
come
like
back,
maybe a veggie platter.
I get back in town and I'll throw something together Sunday because I'm off.
Cool.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I'm telling you, man, this working on a fucking Friday in another state is not, like, I'm not happy about this.
How long's the flight?
It's about 4 hours with layover, probably about 5. I mean, it's not that bad of a flight, but the fucking stopping and going and layover and all that shit makes it.
Is it going through Chicago?
This one I think will be. The other one we
Okay.
stopped in Tennessee for 30 minutes and then left in the same plane. So it wasn't too bad.
Damn. Yeah, I can't imagine a direct flight would be that long. 4 hours seems really long.
So I think it's more like 1 hour, or it's more like an hour and then like an hour and a half. But when you stop and
both all the stopping
Yeah.
and landing. Yeah, no, I know that.
that's the bullshit of it. It's not that far.
The actual climbing and just all that takes a long time.
It's like 30 minutes to
If
climb,
you're just
30 minutes to
cruising,
land.
Yeah, it's only like fucking 8.5 hours to get to fucking Europe. Like it's like it's way fucking further away.
The executive director here had a little bit of an accent, and I couldn't place it. And I was thinking, I have heard this before, and I was like, "Are you Swedish?" Or she's like, "No, German." And I was like, "Fucking almost! I was so close." But it was
Is that close?
It was such a slight accent. Like I couldn't tell if it was like a weird, like she grew up near, like in the States, but like maybe it was like Southern or something strange, because it wasn't like a thick German anything. It was just a little bit.
Yeah, just subtle.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. There's part of one of the book series I like. The guy talks about how people like to think they have this ear for accents and dialects and stuff, but he's like, when you get to the real world, that doesn't mean shit unless you're like people that haven't moved very far from home. Like the U.S. is a good example of like when that's useful, because like you hear like the Southern drawl or twang or whatever. It's like, well, I can guess that you're probably from like one of these 3 states. But when you get like international people, it's like you might be talking to somebody who learned German from a like Mandarin speaking person that had, immigrated to another country that was teaching it as a third language. Like, you have no idea where they learned their accents or anything from when you start getting into people who travel. And it's great that, like, in a local setting you could recognize them, but, like, the fact that you could guess where people were from and stuff is, like, ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not good at that at all. I was just wondering because it sounded a little bit like the Swedish folks we ran into. It had some sort of European twang-ish thing to it since we met all those people. It just reminded me of that a lot, and I couldn't place it. I actually don't like being like, is that an accent? That always seems stupid to me, but I was curious of, like, am I hearing the things that I think I'm hearing, And it was definitely...
Or are you just bad at talking?
It could be. She's like, it's a lisp. I can't get rid of it. And it's very embarrassing. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
Fuck. Sorry.
Alrighty. I'm sure Aaron is begging for us to get started by now. So here we
Let's
go. I assume that neither of you have seen that episode of Always Sunny. But
I have. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. Aaron, I figure Aaron is just like in the Louis. He's like, what are we doing?
I went to watch Always Sunny, but it's only on Hulu or something. I was like, nope.
It is only on Hulu.
So,
it is the single greatest TV show ever, though. So
I think I watched one episode with my wife, and she looked at me like, I'm not watching another one.
No, yeah,
I
totally get it. It's not for the normies. Like, you cannot be a rando and watch Always Sunny. You have to be prepared for some heavy level of toxicity.
You have to be ready. Yeah. The first time I ever watched it, I was not ready. And then
it's like taking a regular person to go see Saw. It's like, that's not what, or Human Centipede. Like, you don't do that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
once you get in the mood,
net.
it's fine. You know what you're looking for.
Yeah. Always Sunny is for people that watch Trailer Park Boys, but want something more aggressive. Alrighty. Have you guys ever known anybody who stutters?
Not really, no.
Not really? Well, my best friend used to have a really bad stuttering problem, but he just died in prison today. Poor guy didn't even get to finish a sentence.
Yeah, I saw something coming.
I knew you did.
Yep. You can't shoot from that far away. I can dodge.
That's fine. You can see it coming. That was a good one. I like that one. Nobody else likes it? Fine. I see how it is.
Nope. Still donkey brains.
Donkey brains. All right, I have to look up the order on this real quick. There's so many posts in the Infamous content channel now. Thanks. It's so many.
So deep.
It's so deep. All right, well, whoever got number 3 definitely lost. That was True Lies. Oh, wow, that was Jeremy.
It was me.
Jeremy had the fewest votes.
All
right, so Jeremy goes first. Yeah, no, I think you had a great list. Pumping Iron might have killed you, I guess.
I'm sure it did.
I think most
our
people
group is not a bunch of
But also,
meatheads,
like, Arnold is weird because there's like 5 movies in the A tier, and then there's clearly a gap, and then there's like 5 movies in the B tier, and then it falls off a cliff for the rest of it.
Yeah.
So everyone's picking weird shit.
True Lies is an excellent movie, man.
True Lies is great. Last Action Hero is really fun. If you had gotten, let's see what else was on the board.
I needed Conan. If I had Conan,
if you had hit Expendables instead, I think you would have crushed it. Okay, so next up was me, and then last was Aaron. Alrighty. So, Mojo World, this week we're doing, Parker described it, he got to pick the topic, he's not here. So, he described it as detective TV, anything that revolves around preventing or solving a crime is the specific topic we're doing, but I'm just calling it Crime TV for short. But we can't choose people committing crimes. You have to be trying to stop the crimes. All right, Jeremy, with the fewest votes last week, you get first pick.
I'm going. This one's an easy one. The Wire, the HBO series, The Wire.
And The Wire is a guy goes undercover.
They put The Wire is based around they put a tap on the phones of these people so they can figure out this whole drug network. And
I've heard it's very good. I just never got around to watch it. I just want to make sure it wasn't about people committing crimes.
Nope.
You're
cops.
really good at topics, so we gotta rein you in
you need to
sometimes.
double, triple check me because I will do stuff you don't even know.
Jeremy's like, Care Bears on ice. Like, Jeremy, what are you doing? It's not even close.
Yep.
Alrighty. So number one, easy for me. Dexter.
Okay. He's committing crimes. He's also solving
committing
crimes.
He's also solving
Oh,
crimes,
fuck.
and he works for a police station that solves crimes. And if you actually watch the show, he tries to prevent crimes because he only kills bad people.
Okay. I like that.
Dexter
I
is probably my top 3 all-time shows.
I don't like. Did you watch the new series?
I did.
okay.
Fresh Cuts,
Yeah.
Cold, some fresh. I can't remember.
Frozen Blades,
I think it's
whatever.
Yeah, I think it's Cold Blood, New Blood, Dexter, New Blood. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it had like an ice theme on the art. I liked it, but it's not the old show. It's just like a standalone set thing. It's different. But I liked it. All right, Aaron is giddy. All right, what's going on, Aaron?
Oh, did we get us on? You got to do.
I don't
something.
like giddy Aaron. I prefer sulking Aaron.
So this is probably the
He's been waiting for
category
this for months.
most up my alley that I didn't even know.
My name's Aaron. I can't pick topics, and he's like literally pumped. He's like, finally.
Yeah, there are so
you could have
many.
picked these at any point with all of your picks, and instead you chose like
We did
movies.
movies for so long, right?
Aaron, we literally forced you at gunpoint to choose a category 2 weeks ago.
And I didn't, and now Parker is my hero.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is person of interest.
I obviously have some feelings about the show. I actually like a lot of things about the show. I am not a fan of, unfortunately, the production of it, which is just very, regular TV quality. It's just unfortunate. I do think there was a lot of potential in the show, and I didn't hate it.
So for most people out there, that means it's pretty good. Brandon doesn't hate it.
I am very picky when it comes to media.
Yes, I am much more mainstream. Like, it needs to not put me to sleep.
As long as it's not
Really.
aggressively bad, Aaron will like it.
This is true. However,
That's
I
fine.
actually that's my bar.
Mhm.
So, or the low bar, if you will. Person of Interest went from a procedural to a series that had interesting, moral, ethical kind of decisions as to what constitutes life and what should we do about it in
Mhm.
terms of artificial intelligence, without giving away all of the 5 seasons. It definitely has some warts, but I really, really enjoyed the show, especially starting in season 3.
Yeah, I think my biggest problems with it, beyond just the really bad production value in the early season stuff, which is nothing to do with the quality of the show or the writing. It's just whatever. It's CW level stuff. It's same problem every day. But the just complete unbelievability of some of the scenes where it's this, the actress playing this character is 90 pounds, is doing hip throws on people that weigh 300 pounds. Come on, I've done these hip throws. That is not possible. It's just completely unrealistic. All right, what's your second pick, sir?
This is where it flies off the rails because I can't. It's
what?
all my children. I can't leave.
Which
some
of your
at
12
home.
children would you like to shoot in the face? And you're
There's
no,
actually
no, no.
4, but I'm
Yeah.
going to take the maligned Izombie.
I liked Izombie more
They're solving crimes in
than
that.
Persons of Interest.
Yes.
Yeah, she works at the coroner's office, so she works directly with a detective that solve
okay.
crimes.
Okay.
But I liked it more, but it's very much in the same vein. It definitely fits the category.
Well,
It's
so
just
Person of
more-
Interest
it's
is
more fun. Yeah,
crime drama, whereas Izombie is a crime comedy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It
Okay.
was just very, very witty, and they
Mhm.
leaned into the campiness. The first couple episodes we watched, because I watched it with my my wife, we're I don't know about this. And then after 5 or 6, we're I think we like it, but I'm not sure if we're too immature, because it's made for younger
Yeah.
audiences. I don't think I'm supposed to like this, but I really like this. Do you like this?
I mean, it's not made for kids. It's not like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It is definitely made for adults.
Yes, but still a typical CW production.
Did
But the
you
best
watch-
one I've ever seen.
Did you? Yeah, I would agree with that. The production value is much better. Did you watch Santa Carlita Diet?
Yes.
I
Santa
assumed,
Clarita.
I assumed you did if you'd
Yep.
watched this. So
I
Okay, cool.
enjoyed Izombie better than Santa Clarita.
okay, I would disagree, but I can understand that opinion.
Okay.
Alrighty. Jeremy, did you have anything on Izombie?
I've never seen it. I don't have an opinion.
Okay. All right, another person marked safe from Izombie. All right, moving on. All right, next up, I'm going with Sherlock. It's a BBC
Mr.
original
Cumberbatch.
show with Benedict Cucumber.
Benedictum Cucumberbatch.
I love how people just intentionally mispronounce his name. Cumberbatch. It is an amazing reimagination of the old Sherlock Holmes show. They're like 1 hour episodes about each of the books, and they're really interesting and well adapted to current times. And then mainly just the acting's on point. Everyone in the show does a really good job. Really high production value. It's a really fun watch, and most people have seen it. So
That was on my list too. Props on that.
very good.
I've not seen it, so I should see it? Question mark?
100%
Yes.
watch it. I think it's on
Okay.
Netflix. It is really good. Yeah,
It's also short. Like you will be able to knock that one out
each
quicker than
series is only
Izombie or Person of Interest.
Yeah, I think each season is only like 3 or 5 episodes, but they're
Yep.
like hour long.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Jeremy, your final 2 picks, sir.
True Detectives, especially the first season, was freaking amazing.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that. I've heard very good things. I'm intrigued.
And my number 3 pick will be Battlestar Galactica.
All right, I'm putting it in. No, actually, no, I'm not putting it in because
Thank
you'll
you.
win, and I'll be pissed.
Oh,
I'll be fucking
God damn it.
furious. I will literally just punch babies until the next podcast.
That one
I'm gonna
episode where they had to find the saboteur, that's kind of crimish. I mean,
But,
They,
uh,
they enact martial law in season 3, episode 9, so therefore the entire show becomes a crime.
yeah, sure, that's fine. No, I'm going to choose Blacklist. I love that show.
That was on my list, yeah. Unfortunately, I wish more of the show was just Red being Red.
Oh, I know.
He's basically if you have no idea what the show is, basically imagine Kaiser Sose is the main character, and he just walks into the FBI office in the first scene and surrenders. And then the show picks up there, and he basically trades information about his absolutely massive underground network to the government in exchange for immunity on all of his crimes. And so basically just every week is a crime drama, and they just go around and there's the next person on the blacklist. And so they'll go like, this guy like poisons people for money. This guy smuggles diamonds, like blah, blah, blah. And so basically he knows everyone in the underworld. And so if you do what he considers crossing the line on like the honor amongst thieves code, he turns you into the government. And it's a pretty cool show. Unfortunately, the supporting characters are not as strong as his character, but some of them are very good, and they do a really good job of character development.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy that show. I have a lot of episodes left and a lot of seasons left to finish, but I'm always happy every episode I finish.
Cool. Alrighty, I have one more to choose, and I think I have to choose Psych. The show is super fun. It's basically it's a satire on The Mentalist. A guy pretends to be psychic to solve crimes when he's actually just really smart. And the show knows exactly what it is, makes fun of itself constantly, and has amazing on-screen chemistry amongst the entire cast. I've seen some skit parts of Scrubs, and there's the two like main people. Everyone says like they have like the best on-screen bromance, but I think Psych is better for the on-screen bromance.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's fucking hilarious. I love it. Anyway, Aaron, your final pick. Which children would you like to put on the life raft?
it has to be Bones.
Bones.
Bones is good.
I haven't seen it. It's been on my list of when I get bored, I'll watch it.
Emily Deschanel, the actress, she's just a phenomenal job of portraying what I can only... You won't watch it after I say this, but she is the Sheldon Cooper of the Mortician world.
Unlike Nigel, I won't literally like fucking cyberbully you for liking Big Bang Theory. The biggest problem with Big Bang Theory is there's like the canned jokes, and there's like the actual clever stuff they write, and don't just Google search internet funny nerd joke. And so
I just
like,
mean
when they actually come up with their own stuff, it's actually really funny, and I actually really liked a lot of Big Bang Theory. But then there's like nails on a chalkboard when you're just like, what did they find on Reddit this week? And that's the worst part of the show. But
no, she just plays a very socially awkward person that is not awkward like, third party embarrassment or whatnot, but and then David Boreanaz plays the straight man, like FBI agent that they work together to solve crimes and stuff. And I think they do a great job together. Their chemistry is really good. And they obviously make the show work. So I enjoyed that from every episode I watched from the beginning to the end.
Cool. I might watch Bones still. It's kind of on my maybe list. Have you watched SEAL Teams? I think it's called, with David Boreanaz.
I did not.
Okay. I've liked him as an actor for a long time, so I might get around to watching that.
Can I give you my honorable mentions now?
Nope. I can give my honorable mentions first. So first up, I've said this before, Lucifer is another fun one if you like more of like a satire-esque comedy version of a crime drama. I like Lucifer a lot.
That was on mine too. I can back you up.
Did you watch that before or after I suggested it?
I think I watched it before.
Okay. And then if you like just random like law enforcement dramas at all, you should watch Justified. Justified's really good.
Oh, I freaking forgot about that.
Timothy Olyphant is
so
amazing in
good.
Justified. He basically plays like an Old West sheriff in modern times, which sounds stupid. He's from Kentucky. He from like a coal mining town, moves to Miami, and basically just like gets fed up with these fucking idiots that are just criminals. And so he starts taking kind of like an Old West approach to it. So in the first scene, he meets this like guy on a rooftop in Miami. And he tells him, he's like, I told you to get out of town. And he's like, what is this? Like the Old West is like, you can't just tell people to leave town. He's like, well, now we're going to find out what's going on. It's like, you got 30 seconds to leave. And he's like, I'm not going anywhere. And then so it's like they basically just have a shootout, and he kills him. He's like, and then they show the rest of the cop show up. It's like, so what happened? He's like, oh, he pulled his gun and tried to kill me. Like, so it's justified shooting, and that's why the show's called Justified. Is he's basically a quick draw artist that gets rid of criminals. It's pretty funny.
I mean, it's Timothy Olyphant playing Timothy.
It's Timothy Olyphant being a cowboy, which is fun.
And it's just such a good character. Like that guy's awesome.
But really, the character that really surprised me is his foil in the show, Boyd Crowder. I can't remember the actor's name.
Yep.
He is amazing. I love him in everything. He's in The Righteous Gemstones. He's in Vice Principals. He's in a bunch of other stuff too. But he's a great actor. I wish he was in more stuff. All right, I got one last one. Blue Bloods. I could watch Tom Selleck speak to a camera for 10 hours. Everyone else on that show
I've never
sucks.
seen that show.
It is so bad, but Tom Selleck can fucking sell a bucket of water to a guy in a rowboat. Like, that guy is so good at acting. I don't know. I don't get it. It's the stash. I can't stop.
It's hard to look at a man like that and not feel a little conflicted.
I know, right? No, I get it. Like, if you ever saw him on Friends, I get it. I want to watch Magnum P.I. and I hate Magnum P.I. All right, I'm done. You get it, Aaron.
Okay.
Read your 38 shows that you want everybody to watch.
I'm down to 3. You took
okay.
Sherlock and Lucifer off of them. So the next one that really competes with Bones in my mind is Castle.
I liked Castle too.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion and Stan Katic. They had some off-screen issues apparently, but I really liked that show. Again, he's the funny guy. She's the straight woman in the show. The exact same thing as Bones, just reversed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that's a Nathan Fillion issue, not a her issue. Apparently, he's a dickhead in real life, and that's sad because he plays such a fun character on TV.
Yep.
Never beat your heroes.
Yeah, exactly. I have a second Nathan Fillion talking about him, The Rookie, which is currently, I think, still being shown.
Believe it is.
And then my third one is Rizzoli and Isles.
I haven't heard of that
one. It is with, I think her name's Sasha Alexander and Angie Harmon. Dual female police detectives doing the same stuff in any crime drama. But Angie Harmon has been in my laminated 5 ever since I saw her. So, in any show she's in, it's an automatic must watch.
Ooh, I just came up with 2 really good. You guys probably wouldn't be able to fill them in. I'm still gonna put them down. I came up with 2 new categories for next time I win.
There you go.
Which will probably be a long time. You guys have trapped me in these terrible categories. No, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to fight my way out of this bag.
Yeah, trying to fight my way out of a fucking water sack.
Oh Lord.
We'll always look back at the 2023 run Brandon had and think, man, did he ever win after that? I think we have a really solid list here. I think all of these shows, except for Persons of Interest, are definitely worth watching.
Oh my god.
I don't regret watching.
Can you just give
Persons
him
of
one
Interest.
show? Come on.
I'm just being mean.
Jeremy, I need you to watch this. I need you to tell me
Persons
Persons of
Okay.
Interest.
have Donkey
do
Brain
not
or not. Oh,
I
come on.
cannot endorse another human being.
Oh
watching
my
it.
god.
I don't know how many people I know that would watch it.
He tried to make
I
me
think-
watch Supernatural, and I started it, and I was like,
don't,
"Oh,
don't
no.
watch Supernatural."
Nope, I'm not doing it."
Ooh, that's another great topic.
Yeah, so I've done 2 now. Brandon had instigated Supernatural and Battlestar Galactica. Both of those have failed. So I'll
I
give
did
you a
not
shot.
tell
Aaron.
you to watch
I
Supernatural.
am not.
Yeah, you did.
Brandon.
I
Huh?
did not. I told you don't watch Supernatural. I told you what I liked about it, and the actual storyline between the 2 characters and their long-term adventure together is a great story. The problem is that's 3 minutes of every episode, and it's wrapped around 45 minutes of dog shit. It's really not worth watching. But the problem, if you could just cut out all the episodic bullshit, like reality shows, if you cut out all the bullshit, it'd be fun and interesting. But it's the majority of the content because it's so easy to produce. But the actual story of Crowley and Sam and Dean and the Men of Letters and all of that stuff is actually really cool and well thought out and interesting. But then it's just oh, vampires again, better get your gun knocked out of your hand and then fist fight them. God damn it, come on. They actually joke about it. That's the one good thing about the show is it makes fun of itself. So it's we should really just tie string to the guns and wrap it around our wrists or something like that.
They keep knocking
Every
these guns.
fight they charge us and knock the gun out of our hands. Okay, Jeremy, do you have some honorable mentions?
No, this was certainly not
No?
my
Okay,
category.
you were deep in that ham crate.
Actually not too deep, but that's about as far as I go. I nailed the
Brooklyn
ones I
Nine-Nine
liked.
would have been another good one. Even though the show's not actually about preventing crimes, it's just a comedy set in a police
I was going to
station.
say, yeah, I don't think that one.
It's like Night Court. It's that's not really what it's about. One of my favorite things about the Supernatural show, though, is the actors that play Sam and Dean, specifically Dean. Dean is great. What the fuck is his name? Oh, fuck me. It's either Jensen Ackleson, I think. I can't remember. Their names are fucking really similar too. Anyway, so his character in the show is this really weird obsession with pie. He loves pie. Concerning levels of loves eating pie. And so anytime they stop at these roadside places, he always yells at his brother Sam, "Get pie!" And he's it gets to the point where it's such a recurring joke that he doesn't even say it anymore. He just raises his hand to point. He's "Yeah, I fucking get pie!" I know. And so now and then this character's so goofy about it. It's like Joey with food from Friends. He's "Get food!" And then so now he's in interviews and somebody asked him he hasn't played Dean for 6 years now. And someone's "So do you have a relationship with pie?" And then he just starts laughing. He's "I literally can't eat pie anymore. I played that character for 15 years. And he's "I don't like pie, but I know who does." And so anytime he sees pie, he just starts laughing because his character is so obsessed with it. Anyway, have I droned on enough? Did we fill the time?
I think we're good.
Aaron's so done. He's "I'm so tired."
We got a solid 5.
Yeah, solid 5. Cool. Cool.